Hello, welcome back to my channel. So, in today's video, I'm just going to be doing my makeup on camera while I talk about Black Lives Matter and what it's like to be an African American person with albinism in America. Just my own experiences. I can't speak to anybody else's experiences. I'm just going to tell you guys what it's like for me, what this time is like for me, and yeah, just how I'm feeling. What I'm not gonna do is argue with people in the comment section because what I'm saying is not up for debate. It is up for discussion, which is why I'm not going to disable the comments. But if you are rude or looking to start an argument with me or anybody else in the comments section, your comment will be deleted. So just gonna go ahead and get started. I'm not gonna talk about the makeup. I will show the makeup that I'm using, but I'm not gonna like sit here and talk about the makeup. I'm just gonna talk and do my makeup on camera. So yeah, so the stuff that's been going on in America that I don't know, some of you guys have just recently become aware of, I guess. I don't know. With the George Floyd, everything, his murder, because it was a murder. It's just really crazy. It's just baffling, mind-boggling, but unfortunately, it's not the first time it's happened, not by a long shot. And I don't know, it was just just a myriad of emotions for me. The past few weeks have just been a myriad of emotions for me, and it just it brought up some stuff from a long time ago. It made me re-examine some things. It's made me grow. It's made me stronger. It's made me more aware, and I think in the long run this is going to make me a better person. And so I hope everyone is growing and learning and changing during this time so that we don't have to continue to repeat this over and over and over again for people to get it. So yeah, like I said, this is not the first time that it's happened, unfortunately. African American people in this country have lived under this constant cycle of just oppression and resistance, and to me, it looks like this. We're doing everything we can to move ourselves forward, to move ourselves up in the world, and it's just constant pushback that is just so unfair. And it's just, like I said, I've been experiencing a myriad of emotions, just sadness and anger and just disbelief, because like George's brother said, it was a freaking modern day lynching in broad daylight. And the fact that this was a murder is not up for debate. The fact that we need some serious police reform is not up for debate. The fact that this crime was motivated solely by race is not up for debate. If he was a white man, it would not have happened. I don't care what anybody has to say about that. That is just the truth. And it's baffling to me, but I'm so encouraged by all the people I see speaking out about this from all ethnicities. I'm so encouraged by all the protesting and all the call for change, and we were already seeing some of the change come about that we have been wanting to see for years and years, and I'm just so glad that that's happening. So that's the silver lining in this. This is changing the world, George. It's changing the world, and I'm just so excited to see what happens. I'm so encouraged by this, to see that justice is taking place People are speaking out, people are learning, people are educating themselves and each other. People are, real change is actually happening. And it's taken so long, and progress has been like this tug of war between right and wrong, just general basic human knowledge of what right and wrong is, basic morality. Like, this shouldn't even be up for debate. And so I'm just really encouraged. By the way, this is going to be like really scattered and all over the place. I didn't script anything. I'm just speaking from my heart. So, but yeah, I'm encouraged by this. And to all these all lives matter people, honey, we are not saying that all lives don't matter when we're saying Black Lives Matter. We're saying that some people, mainly people who have power over us, who have, been basically given the right to use deadly force against us, even when there's like completely no reason to, like, things that they do things because they know they can get away with it when there's no reason to do the thing or anything like that. Like, it's just baffling to me, and they try to justify it. But those people in power kill us and get away with it. And so it sends the message that Black lives don't matter. We're saying that Black lives matter just as much as any other life matters. And you know what? No lives can matter until all Black lives matter. So that is all we're saying. Like, we matter just as much as you. And anybody that debates that really needs to take a good long look at themselves, unless they're okay with just being a racist butthole. Then by all means. But getting into my story and my own personal view on this, I grew up in the 90s. I was born in 92. And I grew up in the South. The town that I grew up in and still currently live in, it's the kind of place where if you are a certain type of white person, and you are not racist or homophobic or both, you are the exception, not the rule. I'll just leave it at that. I grew up in a predominantly Black neighborhood, and yeah, I look like this. So I have albinism. If you guys don't know what that is, you can look it up for a more thorough definition, but just in layman's terms, it means I was just born without pigmentation in my hair, skin, or eyes, and my eyesight is pretty poor because if you don't know, like, the pigment in your eyes helps you see some sort of way. I'm not an optometrist or anything, but yeah, so I was born without any pigment in my hair, skin, or eyes, and so that's why I look like this, even though I am African American. Both of my parents physically appear African American. I look just like both of my parents, and yeah, I'm their kid, and I'm African American. I just have albinism, and so it affects my eyesight and my physical appearance. That is it. There's also some sort of rare blood disease that you could have that causes your blood not to clot correctly. I got tested for that disease and I don't have it, thank God. But that's basically it. And so I went through a lot of bullying from my own community, from the Black community, just because of the way that I looked. And it was hard for me. It was really, really hard for me. It gave me emotional scars and issues that I'm still working through to this day, but thankfully I've by the grace of God, I've mostly overcame them. And so yeah, but it was very isolating for me. I felt like I didn't really have a place in my own community. And like that was really hard for me because I didn't really have anywhere to belong. And thankfully people have become more educated about albinism, and they've, for the most part, people are not buttholes, and they're more accepting, and I feel accepted and included and all of that, and that's amazing and great. And I feel more aligned with my ethnic and cultural identity nowadays. But with all this stuff going on and all this talk of about white privilege, which is definitely a thing, and if you want to debate that, I challenge you to round up you and your white friends and go walk to the store and back. You will not get looks on the street. You will not have people crossing the street to avoid you. You will not have people locking their car doors as you walk by. All things that have happened that I've seen and experienced in my own life. So, yeah. But yeah, all this talk about privilege and stuff has had me thinking back to that time and thinking back to, you know, the kids that, you know, bullied me growing up. And I want you to think for a second what it would be like to grow up in a society where you are seen as less than, as not as smart, not as good, not as trustworthy, not as pretty, just because your skin is darker. Like, what would that do to a little 7, 8-year-old kid? It's gotta be rough and horrible, and I never had to go through that. Like, I didn't go through that. I went through other things because of my albinism, but I didn't go through that. In fact, I had people telling my mom how pretty I was when me and my sister, I had an older sister at this time. My younger sister wasn't born yet. She's 12 years younger than me. When me and my sister looked basically just alike, but she's just darker than I am. People stopping us, telling me how pretty I was, but not her, even though we look just alike, just because my skin is lighter and my hair is lighter. Had people asking, like, if my father was white when, you know, it was just me and my mom out. Had, you know, a girl I thought was my friend in high school make a racial slur in front of me because she didn't know that I was black. And so, yeah, that ended that friendship real quick. Yeah. So imagine growing up in a world like that where people don't want to be your friend or can't be your friend. Their parents tell them they can't be your friend because you're dark. You feel less than because your skin is darker than what is considered beautiful or nice or, you know, good in our eyes. And that sort of ideology is forced on us as kids in this society. It's mind-boggling when you sit back and think about it, how much it's like drilled into us, and we have to actively work to unlearn that. And we all need to actively work to unlearn that. I've had to like sit back and think on what that would have done to those kids, and maybe that drove them to act the way that they did. Maybe that pain made them lash out at me, and it's given me so much more empathy and compassion for those kids because, you know, I can't imagine what that's like, you know, and that's horrible. And so, not that there's any excuse for bullying, there's never an excuse for bullying, but it's made me understand them a little bit more and have empathy for what they might have been going through at that time, you know. Because I didn't really get bullied by white kids or Hispanic kids or, you know, Asian kids or anything like that. It was mostly from the black community. Like, I can't really think of a specific time ever, not really, where it came from anywhere else. You know, maybe a couple of times I can think of that it came from a white person, but it's mostly from the black community, and so I had to really think about that, and mostly from girls. And so, yeah, I had to sit back and really think about that, and I'm glad I did, and because it gave me so much more empathy. Like, even just now, like, I have to think about how much I've taken for granted the fact that I can walk into a store and find products, makeup products for my skin tone, but like my little sister can't. Like, it's so hard for us to go into the store and find foundation for her, or my mom, or, you know, anybody who is past a certain skin tone. And that's crazy, like how that is just drilled into us, like, you don't matter enough for us to make makeup for you. And there are certain brands that I will never, ever, ever use, just because it's like there's little microaggressions like that. They add up and they just contribute to the pain and the struggle that African American people already have to go through. And so I just will never use it, because you don't make shades for everyone, and you obviously don't care about everyone. Like brands like Physicians Formula that don't make shades past a certain point, by Physicians Formula. You know, I don't need to use you. I'll use brands that do make, you know, shades for everybody, because like we have to stop tolerating this stuff, you guys. Nothing's going to change as long as we sit here and tolerate that stuff. And you know, it's going to take everybody. It's everybody's issue. If it's one person's issue, it should be everybody's issue. And so that is like a certain level of privilege that I had to like really look at, because, you know, especially when I was younger and I wore my hair straight, I was, you know, white passing. And I have a picture of me from 11 years ago when I was 17. I dug out my old senior pictures. Good God. 11 years ago when I was 17. But I've got this picture of me back when I used to straighten my hair. And so, let me see if I can do it without the glare. That's what I looked like with my straight hair. And so if I'm just walking down the street by myself, like, especially before people started getting more educated on what albinism is and stuff, like I was white passing, and so it was a certain layer of privilege that I had, and so I had to like come to terms with that over the course of this past couple weeks. And you know, that's not fair, and that's not okay. And colorism and all of that in the black community is a whole nother conversation. I can make a whole other video about that, but it's not fair and it's not right, and it's something we need to stand up against, because everybody's beautiful skin tone, ethnicity, whatever, does not make you any prettier or uglier than anyone else. Everybody has their own beauty, and we shouldn't make people feel less than, and we shouldn't, even if you're not doing it, if you're not saying anything about it, you're contributing to the problem. If you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem, and that's just it. Like, there's no way around that. And so, yeah, I've just had to come to terms with a lot of stuff this week. I've grown so much as a person, and I want to continue to grow as a person. I want to continue to speak out. I want to continue to make change. And I'm going to leave you guys with this story from a few years back. Me and my brother, who is darker than me, he's, you know, physically appears African American. I'm the only one with albinism in my family. But me and my brother were in a Walgreens, in our local Walgreens here. And we were just walking around the store looking for stuff. And just because we are African American, the Walgreens employee, who was an older white lady, decided that we must be up to no good. We must be stealing. Because apparently all African American people steal, and we couldn't afford to shop in Walgreens, apparently. But the gag is that while she's watching us, this white man is over here stuffing bottles of pills in his sweatpants like there's no tomorrow. But she didn't even see him because she's so busy watching us. And I just thought that was crazy. I just thought that was just hilarious. And I didn't tell on him either, because she should have been watching him instead of us, watching everyone equally. But she's just like Hawkeyeing us. And something I want to leave you guys with is, and we just kept doing what we were doing. We bought our stuff. We left. You know, we didn't even like give her the satisfaction, because a lot of these people just want a reaction out of you. And don't give them one. Like, that's my advice. Do not give them one. Live your life. Do your best. Work hard, and don't let these people stop you. Do not give them what they want. Continue to aspire, achieve, continue to educate yourself, continue to speak out against injustice, continue to be the amazing person that you are. And that's the best revenge, really. Because like, if you don't feed them, they'll starve. So yeah, like I said, I want to make so many more videos like this, just talking about stuff that really needs to be talked about. A video that I've got planned, I want to make some videos about albinism. I want to make videos about society, and I just want to share my thoughts and share my stories with you guys more. So yeah, that's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, be kind in the comments if you have a comment to make. If you are not, your comment will be deleted. Yeah, and I love you guys. God bless you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.